A difficult journey so far. I've had an hour delay going around London, and now I've got a 2 hour delay going around Paris. I've still got 7 hours of driving left till I get to the lake. Everything about a Salagou trip is difficult, but I absolutely relish the challenge. I love the venue. I had a fantastic trip last year, and let's hope that this year is equally as rewarding. Last I've arrived, it's taken what seems like forever. Completely different weather today compared to when I arrived last year. Red hot sunshine last year, but today it's very miserable and grey. And I've just arrived at the dam wall. I was hoping to get into the swim that myself and Jim fished last year, because apparently it's been free for quite a while now, but there is, let's let this car go past, there's a couple of lads in it. I can just see a couple of Zodiac boats over there, so gonna have to find somewhere else to fish. So I don't think this rain is gonna last very long either. It's just gonna stay for another couple of hours, and then hopefully I've got some decent weather to get set up in. I'm not too bothered to don't get the rods out tonight, as long as I'm in the swim and comfortable. That's what matters most. Right, I've been here about an hour now, and just looking around and trying to find some spots to fish. I've been into about half a dozen car parks, and just bumped into one of the lads, Rich, who, an English guy who lives near Jim Lightfoot in the Lot Valley, and he's just put me onto a spot which needs a bit of a boat ride, if I'm honest, but in the next hour or so it's supposed to stop raining, so I've just come over here to see if there's anybody in it, which is a bit of a drive. This is round to an area called Sellies, and it looks like it's free, so yeah, I'll head back round to where I've just seen Rich and start unpacking some gear, I think. Right, there you go. Couple of hours smashing it out. It's 1:30 now, so I've got about 4 hours of daylight left, and I'm ready to set sail. Good tip for big waters: spool of cling film, industrial wrapping film, whatever you want to call it. Absolutely great to have in the car, just to wrap a few essentials up in case you've not got anything to protect them. Not got a big bed chair bag, so just wrapped it in that. I've known lads wrap it all over the boat, but it doesn't look too bad out there at the moment, so hopefully where I'm going to, which is about 10 or 15 minutes boat ride, it should be all right around there and it shouldn't get too wet. Anyway, let's get sailing. How about that then? Any good? Looks all right to me. This is the area. I'm going to call it Rich's swim from now on, because it's where Rich fished. So I think I'll set my camp up here, and then I've got all that bay, all this area for the rods. Don't know what it's like, but I know Rich do all right out of it in October, so let's see what it's like now. Right, let's get some gear unpacked, because it is going to tip it down anytime soon, and I could do some dinner. What are we on? 2:15. To that. Ah, the wind! It's blown me belly inside out. It's fast asleep. Gears everywhere at the minute, absolutely everywhere. do here. I've got to turn this off. God, my God. Just took myself away. There's my camp there. You can see it. The boat's blown over here, or the second boat has. I've got to sort that lot out in a minute. I don't think that's going to blow anywhere at the moment. There's leisure batteries and a bench here, 5 kilo bags of bait. But there's the second boat. God, don't know what I'm going to do with this. Brolly is just wrecked. So, crikey, that was absolutely savage. About 1 o'clock in the morning, and my God, I've got to get this all set up now. So, just thought I'd do a quick film for you. I don't know why I'm filming it. I have no idea why, but yeah, makes for good TV, I suppose, is the way to say it. But let me get my camp set back up. Morning. Yes, I survived. I don't know how though. The wind is still strong now. It's probably, I don't know, 25 mile an hour gust today though, so it's not too bad. Last night it went over 50 mile an hour. So, with such an open water as this, I can't tell you, I've never experienced anything like that before on the bank. It was absolutely ferocious, it really was. But today, let me turn this round. This is my view at the moment. We've got a bit of sun. I've got gear everywhere, so you'll have to excuse me. And this wind now is nothing compared to last night. No rods out, but it looks pretty good though for this area. I don't know how long the wind's going to be blowing like this though today. So it was low pressure last night, which is why it struck up such a bad storm, and it was a really bad storm, one of the worst storms, well, the worst storm I've ever been out in, definitely. But now I'm gonna sort my stuff. Well, I'm gonna have some breakfast first. I got a bit of sunshine, which is good, and there's my little camp there. That's where I'm gonna stay. My bivvy was there, and you can still see bits and pieces on the floor now from last night. Just got completely destroyed. I was fast asleep, and then next minute the bivvy was over in the bushes over there, and it was inside out. Well, it's a brolly, it's not a bivvy. It was inside out. Some of the spikes had come through the material. There was all sorts of things. I had to stitch stuff up. I've got a little sewing kit there. I've got a repair kit. I've got pliers. I've got everything. I've got everything that I need to sort things out. But I was a couple of hours getting myself set. Really bad. There was gear everywhere. This morning I got out of the bivvy and went for a pee, and I found a pair of my over trousers in the bushes over there. But this boat was about here last night, and I'd pulled it up just onto the bank over here. So it lifted up and flew all the way back there. Good job I wasn't standing up when it happened, because it'd have probably floored me, that would have. And then it could have been pretty nasty. But yeah, bed chair mattress blew off the top of the bed chair as well, which ended up in the bushes. So that tells you something, because it was all velcroed down. But definitely looks a better day today. So breakfast time, then we'll get some rods sorted. £30 braid, £55 leaders, straight through to lead clips, 12-ounce leads, £50 Shoctite hook link, size 1 snag hook, S7 hard hooker, PB pop-up. Same tactic on all 4 rods. That's where we're starting, and we'll see how we get on. Wind is starting to calm down now, so definitely a good time to put the rods out. Right, I'm just going to show you the process of putting my rod out. Now when I'm on these big lakes I tend to use the oars more than I do the engine. The only time I'll use the engine is if I've got a fish on and when I'm taking a rod back to the bank after dropping the hook bait. Right, I'm going to keep the engine down for the time being just so it gives me a bit of stability, holds the boat a little bit better, and I'm going to go a little bit more out here. Fortunately the wind has died down a lot today, so makes it a lot easier for putting your rods out. You can start to see now on the echo sound of the weed has appeared. Just show you that close up. What I'm looking for is a thin grey line, and the thinner the grey line is, the harder the bottom is. But at the moment, because I've got all this black, a lot of that is weed. So when I find the area that I'm going to drop to, I'll show you on the camera again. Let me just get a little bit further around. I know where I need to be. Now right below the boat now, what you've got is a hard bottom because you've got that really thin grey line at the top. Now the thicker that is, the more chod there is, or the softer the bottom is, and obviously anything above that is black, that's all the weed. So that looks a decent area to drop, but I want to find that kind of bottom at about 17 foot. So I'm just going to row in a little bit closer to the bank again. You can see the depth changing. We're on 18 foot now, 17, 18 foot. That's kind of the area that I want to be. That is lovely. You can see the line, nice and thin, right on the edge of the weed. That's perfect. So all I'm going to do now is scatter some bait around in the area. Not a great deal. I'm not going to use a lot of bait, not this time of year. Right, that rod is ready, so all I've got to do now is get myself back to the bank in a straight line. This is where I'll use most of the engine. Other than moving swim, it's just getting the rods out. And then when I get to just in front of the bank, I'll lift the engine up so it doesn't hit the bottom, and then I'll just row ourselves the last few metres. Perfect. That rod is done. Tighten up to it. There shouldn't be much of a bow in that at all. Feels okay. And that's that rod done. Sorted. Rod's out. You can also see we've got a change of weather conditions as well. That's typical of big waters. 1 minute it's blue sky, next minute we've got clouding, and we've also got a strong wind blowing from right to left. Now you can see I've got all 4 rods at this side of the swim. That might change during the course of the trip because there's lots of other areas that I can put rods. There's one just to the back of the bivvy here where I could certainly put a couple of rods. It looks like it's been fished a few times by guys in the past. But for now I'm going to start off at this side because this is where most of the features are. And my first impressions of the swim are not too bad. I would have preferred a bit more weed, but there are some spots out here that are definitely worth fishing, so I'm going to talk you through them now. Now the 2 left hand rods you can just see down here to the margins to the left, there's a couple of sets of rocks. There's one at the first point and then there's one at the second point. You can just see a yellow marker on the second point. Well, that's got the left hand rod on it, which is about 11 foot. Nice little plateau that runs out from there. Looks quite attractive, but the most attractive spot of these two is this second rod, because that's actually fished off the first point, because the first point it drops down really deep to about 22 foot and then it comes up to this little plateau, and on that plateau it's about 15 foot deep. Looks really good for a bite on there. And then these other two rods, these are fished just on the edge of the weed, because what you've got is rocks down to about 6 foot out here, then you've got this thick set of weed that runs down to about 20 foot. Now the left hand rod, that's on the clear spot just behind the weed at about 20 foot, but this right hand side is slightly clearer at 17 foot, so I've put that rod on a different depth. So we've got all 4 rods on different depths. I've got 11 foot on the left hand rod, 15 foot on the second rod, 20 foot on the third rod, and then 17 foot on the right hand rod. But there's loads of other spots that I could fish. Could go a little bit deeper if I wanted to, but personally at this time of the year I prefer the shallower areas. That's where the features are. The deeper you go, pretty barren out there, there's not much to attract the carp. But we've got some clear areas down here to the right at about 7 foot, just on the edge of the weed. That certainly looks attractive. Could put a rod there when it starts to get warm in the next couple of days, but as I say, there's also that area to the back of the bivvy which looks attractive as well. But for now I'm quite happy with the rods. They've all got about 1 kilo or so of bait scattered around them, not too much bait, just want to start off nice and slow to start with, then try and work myself into the swim and see what happens. I could end up putting a bit more bait out in due course, could also start roving the rods into different areas, but for now let's start there and see how we get on. Frosty morning. South of France, you wouldn't expect that today. But we've got a carp. Whoa! There you go, just down there. Just in the retainer in the corner. Decent bit of depth down there. I've only had it about an hour ago, just before first light. This rod here, didn't put it back out. But it's the same area where I heard fish boshing, which was just out here. I heard one just on dark yesterday, and I've heard another one this morning since I caught that fish as well, so there's obviously a few about. But yeah, first proper night fishing anyway. I didn't fish the first night when I got blown away, but first night with the rods out and I've caught one, so I am mega happy, because new swim, don't really know much about it, and going out there with the echo sounder and looking around, if I'm honest, there weren't many features out there that made me think, yeah, this looks a really good area, but I do know it does big fish. That's the only thing I've been going on, is just information off other people. There's obviously carp around here, and we've got one, so let's have a look at it on the bank. Really cold morning. Massive dew drop on the end of the nose, but my first Salagou mirror even. What a lovely fish. First night with the carp rods out as well, so second night on the bank. Survived the storm of the first night, and that is a great start. Really happy with that. Give me a load of confidence for the rest of the trip. Let's turn him round. And there's the other side. Let's just hope there's going to be some bigger mirrors around, because there's some real big lumps in this lake, and recently there's been a few decent ones out from this area as well, so fingers crossed. I love a bit of history, and apparently that building that's on the far bank over there, which I originally thought was a farm, when I drove around to the Sellers car park to have a look across at this rim to see if there's anybody in it, I thought it must be a farm, but apparently it's a village. And I can see now that it is, because there's a bell tower, there's lots of houses, there's some farm buildings as well. But apparently it's been there for centuries, and the water level on the lake used to go up and down, and it constantly used to flood the village, and people ended up moving out. And since they've built the dam, they've been able to monitor the water levels, and in recent times somebody's moved back into the village, so they've started to do up one of the houses. I certainly saw a light on over there during the night, so there's definitely activity over there. And apparently the houses are now up for sale, and people can move into that area again if they want to, but it does take a little bit of work to get the houses back to what they were. It certainly looks lovely on a morning like today. The sun's just coming up behind me. I bet it looks absolutely glorious on that far bank looking across at me, and I'm just hoping that today we'll see some activity from the carp on the rods as well. What a lovely sight to wake up to. Absolutely glorious place. How about that for a view from the bivvy then? I've certainly had better views. Full lockdown today, it's tipping it down. So I'm inside the bivvy, and I thought I'd just do a quick piece to camera, because you've probably noticed I'm on my own for this trip. Jimmy Lightfoot was supposed to be with me, but unfortunately he's not been able to make it. I've had loads of those excuses. I can't come, Crowy. The wife's sisters, cousins, brothers, uncles coming around for dinner, and I'm not able to get there. But he's been keeping in touch with me since I've been here. And as soon as he's found out that I've caught one, right, I'm there in the morning, I've got 2 weeks free. Yeah, right, Jimbo, we all know that you want me to find the fish and then you're ready. I'm bantering, he's not like that at all. I can't wait to see him. I haven't seen him since last year. He's one of those guys that I really do connect with really well. He's pretty similar to me as an angler as well. He just gets on with things. He doesn't like anybody netting his fish for him. He doesn't like anybody helping him get into a boat. He just likes to crack on with things, and we've both got similar outlook on life, similar political views and stuff like that. So I can't wait to see him. He's going to be about 2 o'clock today. You'll also notice I ain't got my dog with me anymore either, and sadly she passed away just before I was about to come out to Salagou. I had all her food ready, her animal health certificate. She was nearly 13 years old, and quite suddenly she passed away, unfortunately, which has really beat me up, I've got to be honest with you, because I've never connected with the dog as much as I connected with Bo. I can remember years ago ringing up Ian Chilcott, you know, a big old para, ringing him up on the day when his dog had passed away, and I remember him in tears. And I got off the phone, I said, big old Chilly in tears because his dog's passed away. I can't believe that. But I totally get it, absolutely get it, I really do, because when Bo passed away, for 4 or 5 days I just couldn't speak at all. You know, I'm not an emotional guy, and my missus turns around to me and says I'm quite unemotional. With Bo, she was like my little girl, she really was. She just used to, she was with me every single day of the week, every single day that we had her, and apart from one trip that I did away without her. So having that little thing wandering around and just being next to you, it feels a little bit weird, it really does. I feel a little bit lost, if I'm honest. But if you guys out there have got dogs, you know what you know how I'm feeling. It's an horrible thing, and you know, I've got so many great memories of her, and I love the short time that I was with her. I just wish I could have her here now, but anyway, I've got Jimmy Lightfoot instead, so there you go. That's the reason why I'm here on my own. Don't mind being on my own though. I'm used to fishing on my own. I've done it for most of my fishing career. Fished quite a few lakes like this on my own. You've got to have that kind of tunnel vision and that special way about you to enjoy lakes like this fishing on your own. It's pretty easy to sit there and think that it's easy being out here on your own, but it ain't, it really ain't. It beats a lot of people up. Not many people can do it, but I don't mind doing it, and I know Jim don't mind doing it. But 2 weeks on your own or 2 weeks with Jim, I know what I prefer. 2 weeks with Jim, he's a cracking bloke, so I can't wait to see him. So I'll get the camera out so we can greet him when he arrives. So we'll see you in a bit. Look who's here! Here he is, the man, the myth, the legend. Tell you what, that's a Formula 1 boat, mate. Freaking hell. Yeah. Got round quick. How are you, dude?
Good to see you, Crowbar.
Good to see you, pal.
Yeah, really good to see you, mate.
How was it round there in the wind? All right?
Yeah, it was all right. Like you say, mate, it was on the back of it, so it was all right.
Blow you round, mate.
Yeah. There's no way I would have chanced it if it was against the wind, like too strong. But
yeah,
it blew me around nice.
It's been blown like this now for a couple of days, mate. So, well, yesterday started and today. Is there anybody else round there?
Yeah, there is, mate. Yeah.
Is it right on the point?
Yeah, on the point, mate.
Yeah, there was a guy on the point before.
Yeah.
So he was there when I got here, but there's nobody like round to the right here, though, is there?
No, the whole of the bay is empty.
Yeah.
But there's a guy. He's only like 100 metres that way, I think.
Is he? Is that all?
Yeah.
What, the guy right on the end?
Right on the end, I think, mate. Yeah.
No, he's not 100 metres, mate.
Is it further than that?
He's a little bit further, I'd say. Yeah, a little bit further. Yeah. Right, I've got a bottle here, mate. I'll reel that one in when you get round to moving your rods. I'll let you get set up anyway. Right. Hopefully we're going to catch a few fish, dude.
Leave that bottle there, mate. I'll use it as a marker.
Yeah, leave that rod there if you want. Well, last year, you was claiming fish on.
No, that's you, mate.
Oh,
in fact, you landed one of my rods last
year. That's what I mean. And then you said, I'll never do that. And then as soon as I did it, he was like, give us a picture of that fish. Anyway, mate, good to see you. I guarantee there's going to be at least one person who sends me a message asking me why I've got my rod set up like this. Why are they so high off the ground? Well, let me give you a quick explanation. This particular swim, there's a lot of rocks really close in, and those rocks are really steep, and where I'm fishing to, I need to get my line as much as possible off those rocks. So I need the rods nice and high. Now these rods are only 10 foot in size. The little 10-foot React. They're not 13 footers, and the difference between a 10 foot and a 13 foot is, well, it's considerable. So you can get those rods, those 13 foot rods, nice and high, and make sure that the angle going down, you can see the line there, going down to where the rigs are, is a lot better. But with these 13 foot rods, it's very difficult to do it, and that's why I've got these high bank sticks. Now I definitely prefer bank sticks on a water like this than using a pod. Last year I used a pod, but it really did restrict me. If you want to fish a rod down to the left or down to the right, then there's always going to be an angle between the rod tip and where the bait is. Now that reduces the sensitivity of the setup, and if you're fishing tight to snags and stuff like that, then any angles in the line will always decrease the sensitivity of the setup. Now, there's a little bit of an angle there, but I don't mind that. But I certainly don't want it going off at right angles over there, which is what happens with the pod. I like to point them straight at the bait, and all of my rods are pretty much like that, which is why they're all off at different angles. Don't really care about what my setup looks like. I'm not really interested in being a fashion victim. It's not how I am. When you've got grey hair, you're definitely not a fashion victim, so it's all about being practical. And these rods, the way they're set up, absolutely perfect in this situation. So hopefully that explains it to those of you that might be thinking about messaging me. Right, let's go and see Jimbo swim. He's not too far away, just got to walk through this little track. You can see there's a little path through here, and there's a few little bushes as well, but nice little area for another bivvy down here. And there's the man himself.
Hey up, Crowbar.
You're leaving me, Jimbo?
Yeah, the romance is over, mate.
I reckon it's those smelly pants hanging up in my swim.
Yeah,
you've done it.
The affair lasted 2 days, mate, and it's all over.
I thought you was missing me.
I was, mate, but 2 days is enough.
Where are you off to?
Right, I feel just a little bit hemmed in, mainly because there's a French guy. He's only like 150 metres to my right.
Yeah.
And obviously you're directly to my left, like, and
Yeah.
it was real nice coming here just to see you, really, mate. That was the main reason why I came here. But yeah, I've got my fishing head on, and I want to go about 1,000 metres to your left.
Right.
Nice little peninsula.
You're going to boat 1,000 metres to the right?
Yeah, of course, mate. Yeah, it goes without saying, mate.
That's what Rob Hughes does.
Yeah, so, yeah. Don't get me wrong, this ain't a bad area, but I just feel it's a bit bland, really. It's like, I've got a nice weed line it finishes at 19 foot, so I could put rods just the other side of the weed line, but I'm thinking I'm doing very much similar to all my rods, really.
Yeah. There's not many features out here, is there?
No, this ain't going to be an area which is holding carp.
Yeah.
Whereas just to your swim, mate, because it's like almost a totally different swim. I can imagine carp holding up at your swim,
yeah.
but I can't here, so I'm just fishing for fish moving past.
Yeah.
So to give myself the best chance, I'm going to go in an area where I think I've got a chance of both. Fish being there all the time and fish moving through.
I don't blame you, mate.
Yeah.
Really don't. I mean, it's a good day to move as well today, because the wind's changed direction. It's a lot. Well, it's blowing a bit now, but it's certainly a lot quieter than it was yesterday.
Yeah, it's miles calmer, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So you're going to go down to the left, mate. Okay, so we're not too far away. So if you get a whacker, get on the blower,
on the blower, mate.
On the blower, and let me know.
Yeah, and likewise as well, mate. Likewise.
Yeah.
Come and take
dude.
a bit of filming or photographs for you, mate, whatever you want.
Yeah. Well, I might be joining you if you start catching a few, mate.
Yeah.
I've done 4 nights in there now. I've had that stupid catfish this morning, and just that one carp. So, but we have seen fish this morning, haven't we? We have heard them as well. So,
so as soon as that wind drops in the night,
about
3 o'clock in the morning, I heard 2 carp, which were definite carp.
Yeah.
Might have been the same one, who knows? But at least it shows they are in the area.
Yeah.
Because it's pitch black, you never know really where they are, but it weren't that far away.
Yeah. All right, dude. Well, I'll let you get packed up, and I shall see you before you leave.
Yeah, mate. And great catching up with you, Si.
Yeah.
As always, mate.
Yeah, I might see you during the course of the rest of the trip, mate.
Sure,
you know what we're like.
Sure we will. Mate.
Poaching anglers that we are. I'll be putting a rod 1,000 metres to the left.
Yeah, why not, mate? You've probably got a rod there already, mate. So.
See you in a bit, mate.
See you in a bit, mate.
You might notice that I'm using the new Avid Ex Cast reels for this trip, and whilst I'm not going to review them in this film, I'll make the point that they're really light compared to the 12,000 ACRs which I've been using for the last 6 years or so, which makes them the perfect complement for the 10-foot React rods I'm using today. Now, if you're interested in taking a closer look at these reels, there will be an all Avid Carp stockists in the new year, and I think they're priced at $109.99, so they're definitely worth checking out. Washing day, and it's a glorious day as well today, so the perfect day to do a bit of washing. It's my running gear, that is. Had a little run this morning. Beautiful day. 16 degrees today, flat calm on the lake as well, so completely different conditions to what I've had over the last few days. Had lots of wind and rain over the last few days, so it's been a bit tricky filming, but we are now on the 27th of November, so I've been here for 5 days. Done 5 nights of fishing, so I'll just give you an update on what's happened. First night I caught a carp. Second night nothing happened. Third night landed a catfish of 70-80 pounds, something like that. Wrong species though, not interested in that. Found myself a new area and redid that rod a couple of nights ago and lost a fish on it. Don't know what it was, whether it was a carp or a catfish, no idea. Hang on a minute, there's a plane coming over in a minute. I'll show you in a second. We've got the water planes on the lake at the moment, making lots of noise, but they are good to see. There's one there just above the trees, just below the trees, I mean, you can just see it. These are great to watch. And another one there. The water planes, when the conditions are like this, they're always out. Landing on the lake, picking water up, training the pilots for forest fires that you get in the summer months. Always great to see. It's like the dam busters coming into land. But yeah, went out and underneath the boat there was a big obstruction which looked like weed, but obviously it's not weed, there's something else, because I've had another pickup on it this morning at 4:30, which is the time when I caught the first carp, so I'm guessing that one was probably a carp, and struck into it, played it for about 20 seconds or so, took a little bit of line, felt like it was coming okay, no problems at all, and then next minute it's cut me off, 55-pound leader, so not good, proper wounded. So today I'm going to reevaluate things. I'm going to put some 70-pound leader on. I've got some in my kit box over here. I'll just show you. This is what I'm going to put on, give this a go, but most of all I'm going to have to reposition that rod, just move it a little bit away from whatever's down there. So I'm going to go out in a minute with the echo sounder, stick a marker block on the actual snag, and then come away from there, put some bait out and reposition the rod. So yeah, wounded at the minute, 4 bites, 5 nights of fishing, and only 2 fish landed, one of which is a catfish, which doesn't count. So yeah, you just don't know what you lose on a lake like this either, so that's the hardest part to deal with. But anyway, plenty of time left, still a good chance of a carp or two. Carrots, potatoes, and there is some whole wheat pasta in there. And tonight I'm having with it, what we're going to have, minestrone soup. So mix all that up with some minestrone soup. I'm also going to have a tin of tuna with it as well, believe it or not. Now I've eaten this same food, similar food anyway, virtually every day that I've been here. My potatoes are doing all right, my carrots are starting to go a little bit black. I've run out of broccoli, I had some broccoli for the first week, but that went off. So yeah, getting a little bit bored of food. Can't wait to get home and taste the missus's cooking. But this is what I'm having tonight anyway. I'll tell you what, these stoves are really quick for boiling water up, so if you're going to cook in them, things like porridge and stuff like that, then you've got to be a bit careful with them, because it cooks so hot and so precise that within no time, if you're doing porridge, it starts to burn on the bottom of the pan unless you really keep an eye on it. Absolutely fantastic. I've used, since I've been here, that is the start of my second gas bottle. That's using, well, 7 times a day, 6-7 times a day, because I tend to have 3 meals a day, and I'll probably have about half a dozen cups of tea. So I'm making a bit of a mess of this, but lots of use of it anyway, lots of use, so that's not bad, is it? And just to prove that I eat it, here it is. Beautiful. Lovely and hot. Great stoves then, really good stoves. If you use a lot of gas, get one of them. Absolutely brilliant, especially for boiling water and stuff like that. You wait till you see the size of this thing. I don't know how the hell I've got it in. That is absolutely huge. That is well over 100 pounds. Look at the size of it. Here's my boot. That is ginormous. How the hell I got it up off the bottom, I don't know. But it's not what I'm here for. That's probably about 4 kilos of boilies in there. I'd say it's probably the biggest one I've caught on carp gear. Huge that. Jimbo would have been happy with that on his little live baits, I suppose. That is huge. Jimbo. Look at the size of that thing. What a pain in the ass they are. Hate the things. Bonjour. Désolé anglais.
Alright, mate.
Alright, mate.
Want a tea or a coffee, mate?
No, I want a whacking great big carp. Here he is.
Yep.
He's not even up yet. What a life you've got.
I've been up, mate. I've been up and got back to my bivvy.
I bet when I texted you about 7 o'clock this morning, it's such a busy day.
Mate, you'd actually woke me up, mate.
What does that toss or text? Did I wake you up at 7 o'clock?
Mate, well...
About 8 o'clock, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah. I didn't get sleep till about 2 o'clock, so...
What was you doing, listening for fish, or was you...
I was, mate. I was listening to the fish. I mean, I just couldn't get to sleep, you know what it was like some nights.
Well, yeah, normally if it was 2 o'clock and you was like in your 30s, I'd think you've been watching something else on the internet.
No, days are gone, mate.
As you get to our age, it's somewhere else.
Yeah, I think of better things to do now.
Can't find it. Where is it? Come on, get to life, you.
I'm trying to find a carp.
Yeah, mate, it is proper fishing hard.
It doesn't, mate. It's the weather, mate. We need wind. This place fishes well in the wind, and literally for about 5 days we've had flat, calm, high pressure.
It's funny you should say that, mate. All the bites I had was in the time when it was windy.
Yeah.
You know, even from the catfish, it was all just during strong winds. It's like gone completely dead since then. Not much happening, mate. I don't know whether anybody else has caught. I've not been keeping in touch with anybody, but
no, but I've not seen anybody out in the boat. You know, I can see where people are fishing.
Yeah.
I can see the bivvies and I can see the boats, but I'm not seeing anybody out in a boat playing a fish. So
yeah, I hear that guy opposite us putting some bait out every day, but I'm doing the same though. You know, just in case the crays have had it or little bits and pieces have thinned out what I've put out. This is like autumn weather, isn't it, in England? October sort of weather. Really cold and damp. But
it was cold last night.
Yeah, it's due to get warm today, mate. The sun's not too far behind. As soon as it burns off this mist, I'm sure it'll be a lovely day. But you staying put? You staying here?
Don't know yet, mate.
Don't know. Or are you thinking about moving then as well?
No, you know me. I naturally get itchy feet. This is my third move, mate. So
yeah.
But I think hindsight, it's not me moving. It's just that it's not fishing very well the lake. So,
yeah. I think you've probably talked me into staying for another night in my swim as well.
Well, mate,
you know.
You've heard fish, so the fish will obviously come back to you. Or maybe they never left, but they just show who knows.
Yeah, I definitely had a couple of whackers last night, mate. Decent fish. I was like, cool, you know, got out the bivvy and cool, that were a decent one. Where were that? Yeah, well, we got a ripple on the lake, mate. So, yeah, see what happens in the next few days, eh?
Yeah, those rods there, they've been out. That's the second night now they've been out. I've not touched them or moved them.
No, I don't think you need to, mate. I told you yesterday I went over one of my rods in 8-foot water and all the bait was still there. Yeah. Everything was still there. It's crazy to not had anything, even though I'm still putting bait out over some of the rods.
Yeah. Sometimes I worry a bit about the hooks getting blunt because it's very rocky. You see on the rocks on the floor, mate. It's like
yeah.
If those like little fish and knocking the hook links, sometimes I've brought my rigs back and a couple of times the hooks have been blunt. So
yeah.
That's the only concern, leaving them out a long time.
Yeah, sitting and wait, mate. Definitely not like last year's trip. Bit of a grueler this one so far.
It is, mate. Yeah.
But there's still plenty of days left, so.
Just one fish, mate. In it all
exactly. Exactly. Don't know if you can see that, we've got a predator wrangler in the distance on Jim's rods. We just had a guy around to the right as well. All nice though, mate, wasn't it? All nice.
Yeah, mate, it was, and you got to treat these other guys fishing the lake, especially the predator anglers, with a lot of respect, because these are the guys on the local committees, and if they wanted to, they could push for bans on carp fishing, or no night fishing.
Yeah.
Just make it real difficult. So yeah, you got to live in harmony on these lakes. Got to respect them.
We lost Cassian, didn't we, carp anglers? Lost Cassian because of all the rubbish, the litter and things like that. So
yeah, it's not. Yeah, the biggest thing is carp anglers. This day and age, because I see it all the time, because I'm fishing in France all the time. Yeah. Is you got guys carp fishing now. You got these big reels with thin braid, so they're holding like 600 meters of braid. And a lot of guys, they have a natural instinct to take the bait out a long way. Yeah. So they rock up, they have one rod 400 metre out, one 400 metre right, one 400 metre left, and it's like they're taking masses of water up.
Yeah.
the predator anglers are being respectful, they're keeping this distance, but still picking your line up, and it's like you can understand why there's problems. So
somebody were fighting on here a few weeks ago, apparently, weren't they? German guy with a French guy.
With a French guy.
German carp angler with a French predator angler. You know, sometimes we're all wrong. You know, the predator angler is wrong. You always push your boundaries, everybody does, but the way I look at it nowadays as I've got older, it's not our water, is it? This is the French lakes. Respect the French, respect their waters, respect their rules. You're the guest on their lake, so
yeah.
You know,
try your best to get along, be friendly with them.
Yeah.
And you know what? And most of the time, they're friendly back to you as well.
Oh mate, I had my lines picked up last year when we was fishing the dam wall by the predator anglers. Just waved at him, and you know, and he waved back. He didn't mean to do it. And so far this trip, I've not had any problems other than from bank anglers, but then it's been amicably sorted. Yeah. You know, carp anglers do take liberties. I remember fishing on Cassian and seeing some of the guys fishing off the third point down the north arm, fishing close in and then fishing one right across to the other side. Yeah. You know, to the margins over there, and yeah, we do it. You know, I've done it. As I've got older though, I've chilled a lot more, I've mellowed a lot more. Yeah. There was times when I used to probably argue with these guys and, you know, you near my lines, get away and all that kind of stuff. But now I'm proper. As you get older, you just chill out a little bit more, don't you, mate?
Rightly so, mate. And you know what you find is that pushing these limits and boundaries, fishing big distances, you don't end up catching more fish.
No, you don't
end up catching more fish.
Yeah. So the word is,
be respectful to other guys fishing.
Too right.
Yeah.
Too right as your carp angler.
Yeah. Be respectful not just to carp anglers. Well, yeah. Be respectful to other carp anglers. That's another thing as well. And be respectful to predator guys.
Yeah. Yeah. You learn your lessons as you're younger. We were all a little bit more sort of naive, but as you get older, you learn to chill out, respect, and enjoy it rather than put the lakes at risk. These big waters are precious.
Exactly, mate.
So look after your fishing. Check that growth out. Cool, it's just over a week's worth there, I think. I didn't cut it before I left, but I've been here now just over a week. We're on day 8 of fishing and we are the 1st of December. There you go. 3:30 in the afternoon. Beautiful weather, absolutely gorgeous. Blue skies, lovely day, flat calm, loads of people on the lake, loads of activity. People boating, people walking around the lake. Somebody on one of them jet hover things, or whatever you call it. I don't know what it's called. And plenty of predator anglers out there as well. A lot of carp anglers as well. Jim's just moved into the main bay and he's just told me now there's half a dozen or so anglers in the main bay. So yeah, I've just seen an angler come around this corner now as well, all loaded up, ready to go into this swim, but he turned around as soon as he saw me, and somebody's just left from the swim opposite me and somebody's just gone straight in there. So busy lake at the moment, but it's fishing tough. It really is. It is fishing tough. There's not been a great deal out, and there's some low pressure. I caught fish on the first day, but since then, hang on a minute, the old phone's going. I bet that's the wife because we've just got a new dog. It is. Right, better go. Speak to you in a minute. The boss is calling. Sorry about that.
Hi, darling.
Boss was calling, so you know what it's like when you've been on the bank for over a week. Got to keep them happy. Got to answer it. So anyway, I think I was saying about the conditions at the minute. And I'll just turn the camera around because that is a lovely view. What is it now? It's 4:15, so not far from sunset. Sun's just going down over the mountains, but the lake is flat calm. It's these really high pressure conditions that's how it's been for the last, probably 5 days now. It's been really tough going. I've had some catfish, but no carp. I've heard them in the area, so they know that they're in this swim. But loads of questions go through your mind when you're doing this session fishing, because you're sitting there thinking, should I move? Should I stay? Oh, the carp in the area. I bet everybody else on the lake's catching well. Well, Jim's just moved again. He's in his 4th different swim now, and he's only been here for 6 days. I've been here for 8 days, so I'm in the same swim that I started in. And one of the things that I used to do when I was really starting out on these big lakes, he's moved too much. You know, fishing with people like Briggsy, he taught me to stay put. He always ended up getting better fish than I did, Steve did, when he used to plot up in a swim and stay there for a few weeks. And the amount of people I know that's plotted up in a swim and fished really well during the course of those 2 weeks and had a big one, it happens. Whereas moving around all the time, it doesn't tend to happen. I'm not saying that Jim's not going to catch anything, because of course you drop on fish, you're going to catch them, but moving around too often for me has never worked. It's always been that plotting up. So that's what I did last year on this lake, and it's kind of my frame of mind at the moment for this session as well. I want to stay in this swim because I know there's carp here. I've heard them and I've caught one, obviously, but at the moment the conditions are so bad, I don't think anybody's catching from around the lake. So we just need a bit of a wind, and that's due to arrive tomorrow afternoon. Now I've got 4 nights left, 12-night session, so you know, I've got the option to move tomorrow if Jim catches something. He's about to leave either tomorrow morning or the morning after. So if he does catch something in his new swim, which is in the main bowl, which really does look nice around there. It's really shallow, about 16, 17 feet deep. Lots of weed around, but there's a lot of anglers around him. He did say to me on the phone earlier on, it's not the kind of area that he'd pick because of the amount of anglers that's there. But around me, there's not too many at all. So I'm just hoping there's carp out here. That's the one thing that we want. That's what we're here for. But I'll finish this little bit by just showing you that. It is lovely. It's really, really nice being here, but obviously when not much is happening, you do need that strong frame of mind. That's the one thing you need for these big waters. A real tunnel vision, a good mindset to sit there, try and get yourself a plan and follow it through. It's so easy to deviate off what you've set out to do. And you know, when I got here, I wanted to find a swim which had carp in it, and I wanted to stay in it. And with 4 nights left, you never know. I could end with a bang. Worst case scenario is we don't get another fish and we have a long drive home, but that's fishing. We'll be back again next year because it's just lovely down here, even if it is busy. I think this is a carp. Bite the fight, everything. Yeah, that looks like a carp all down there. Yeah, that's a carp. Oh. That's a decent one. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, that is a big one. That is definitely a big one. Oh my god, that's massive. Come on. Come on. Yes. Oh, it's gone over the top of my waders, but I'm not bothered. Beast. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh my god. Look at that crowbar. That is what I've come for. That is exactly what I've come for. Oh, mate. I can't believe that. That is absolutely awesome. What a fish that is. Water's gone over the top of me waded as soon as I saw the size of it. My little doggie's giving me that. That's amazing fish. Look at the state of me. Shivering. I don't know whether that's because of the cold or because of the fact that I've just landed an absolute giant. This is freezing cold weather. But blow my neck, I tell you what. Oh, what a way to end the session. Absolutely incredible. Oh dear me. Right, anyway, let's get changed and dried.
Yes, how's this for a beautiful Lac du Salagou carp? It is a stunner. Beautiful mid-30 coming. It's gorgeous. Yeah, my good old mate Crowbar's had a real big in. Just the other side, so I'm going to wind my rods in and go and say hello to him, say hello to his fish. That is a beauty, that. I'm so happy with that. Yeah, what a stunner. Well done, sign your carp, mate. That's a beauty as well.
You know, like when we was growing up and Dave Walker's fish from Cassian and Max Cottis's fish.
Yeah, Kevin Ellis's fish, 76 pounder, yeah.
Yeah, all those kind of fish. You're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I want one of them.
Well, this is bigger than all of them.
Well,
similar size, isn't it? Maybe a bit bigger.
Same size, mate.
Yeah, same size, yeah. Yeah. Being honest, mate, this weight of fish seems to be the max for public water fish. Yeah. You don't tend to get any bigger than this. Like, they max out.
Yeah.
It's the monster Crowbar.
Use Steve Briggs' arms to lift this one up.
What a fish.
Cheers, mate. I've been carp fishing since 1980 and I've had a few special carp in my life, but I think all my mates will agree that nothing tops a public water biggin. It really doesn't. Ready?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
What a fish. From a wild, crazy lake. And a wild, crazy trip as well. Jimbo, get in the picture.
Well done, Crowbar. Much deserved, mate. I'm mega chuffed for you.
He texted me before we came, mate, and said you'd love to do some pictures of a big one for me.
Yeah.
So,
and here we are.
Let's get cracking.
Well done, mate.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah. Hey, crowbar.
Oh, mate.
How are you feeling?
I don't know, mate.
Speechless.
It's blown me apart, mate. Lost my dog 2 weeks ago. Well, 3 weeks ago. But now, a high like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Proper. Carp fishing is amazing. I've had a lovely 2 weeks here. Amazing, tough trip, tough fishing. But you know, when you've got a game plan and you follow it through, when it comes right in the end, it's like crazy feeling. Great moment to share with you, dude.
Yeah, likewise, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Nice one. Crowbar.
Get it.
Yeah, mate. Well deserved, that's all I can say, Si.
Cheers, mate.
Couldn't happen to a nicer guy, mate. Good on you.